Hello, everyone. Welcome to June 25th, 2025, SIG Node CI meeting. First up, we have Francisco with one agenda item.
Yes, hello everyone. So a while ago, I was proposing and sent PRs to rewrite the CPU manager end-to-end test, which were in a very sorry state. With the last I promise, I really do, PR I linked, the job is done in the sense that I implemented everything I wanted, and I also fixed the current issue with the fact we use ordered, which I'll go and elaborate in a moment. So I think the tests are now in a much happier, in a much better place and shape, and we can go forward by actually removing the old set of tests, because as it is now, we have the exact identical, very same old test keep running, and the new rewritten one side to side. So far, so good. So if we all agree about moving forward, I can send the final PR to remove the old test and keep some shared bits. Otherwise, we can keep the status quo or revert the new ones. So I promise to bring the conversation up. We don't necessarily need to make the call now. We can iterate over Slack, but we should reach consensus to not stop or harm the development in this cycle if people needs to add end-to-end tests or fix them. Comments or questions or thoughts? Okay, so I just want to quickly explain for the record the ordered thing I mentioned, and then I'm going to shut up. So the new bunch of tests, they use the ordered Ginkgo qualifier alongside the serial. Serial we use pretty much extensively because all the tests ultimately needs to mutate, all the end-to-end node tests need to mutate the node state. So we have a hidden giant shared state. For this reason, they're serial. They're also ordered because we can use before all and after all. So we can minimize the kubelet restarts, which are not the subject of the test, because each and every case checks the current kubelet configuration. If it happens to be exactly what they need, because the settings are compatible, no restart needed, and we just go on with the test. Otherwise, we change the kubelet setting and we restart it and we do the test. And of course, there is the revert at the end. So ordered helps us minimizing the setup time, which is we are not exercising, kubelet restart robustness, so seems pretty reasonable to me. The problem with ordered out of the box is that the first failure, it stops. So if you have 20 tests and the second fail, who knows about the next 18? With the last fix I proposed, the suite will actually continue. There is explicit Ginkgo support for that, so I believe we get the best of two worlds. So this is the status. I will be most happy to get comments, and we can iterate over Slack. And my proposal will be silent, lazy consensus. So if no one objects, I will solicit comments again. We can move forward and remove the old tests. So this is my take. Thank you all.
I don't have many objections. So you mentioned cgroup v1 is missing. Do you mean like once we will remove tests, like in 134 we will only test cgroup v2, right?
Yes, this is the open point. Yeah, if this forum agrees, for example, okay, we keep the new one, but we need the cgroup v1 testing. That's a very fair point, and I will add them. Just make a decision. Asshole, I mean.
I think from my perspective, I don't want excessive testing of cgroup v1, but since we still support it, like, is there a possibility to do like a lighter version of testing, like not auto tests or something?
Yes, totally it is. It's a very fair point. So I will add this item and this additional item to the queue, and I think this addresses all the concerns. I'm really asking. Let me take a note for the moment. And then, okay, consensus to add some test coverage. Thank you all. We can iterate, unless there are more comments, of course. Otherwise, I'm happy.
Yeah, Jay is next.
Sorry, I was just like editing. So I brought this up earlier on SIG Node meeting. My thought was that like this could be considered as a bug, as priority class seem to be differing from handling of priority class in score seem to be differing from eviction handling. But I think that like I'm not sure like whether whether they are inclined or not inclined towards this. But I want to propose like a minimal version of this. I think that could be a bug than a feature change. Currently, only system node critical priority is treated the same way as guaranteed for handling. So we set the score as the lowest possible, so that like system node critical pods are not killed earlier than other pods. I think that we should do the same for system cluster critical pods. If you're not considering priority class as a whole, I think minimally we should handle cluster critical pods the same as node critical. This is important because like connectivity agents, CoreDNS, and CNI are run with system cluster critical priority today, and it is important that like these are not killed. I mean, it doesn't make sense if these dependencies are not functioning in a node, then the other user pods are running. I would think that like this could be identical. We want to gather feedback on that and what we think about focusing on this minimal change.
Yeah, I think that this is in general a good idea. It does, as Tim mentioned, feel like a feature, and I also wonder if maybe it should be talked more deeply in the SIG Node meeting rather than here. I don't know if there's a specific CI piece of it that you want to talk about here.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask like if this treating both the priorities is considered a bug. I don't know like if this could also be better discussed in the SIG Node meeting. I think I could take it up the
I think
SIG Node meeting.
Don commented on SIG Node meeting. I quickly re-listened the recording from the meeting. I think Don commented that it was explicit decision, like it was a discussion whether priority class should be considered, and it was decided explicitly not to consider that. So I don't think it's a bug from that perspective. It may still be a bug. It just since it was an explicit decision, I think changing this decision would require like feature work rather than treating it as a bug.
Yeah, makes sense. That's what handling all of the priority classes. I see that's a feature change. That's a large enough change. How about treating system cluster priority same as node critical? Is that also a feature change, do you think?
Yeah, I would probably lump it all in together. Like if we're going through auditing like how we relatively prioritize pods with respect to score, then I think we should do it all at once. So we should do it with one feature.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and I think upstream we need to do better job of telling people to run critical pods with like appropriate resources and limits. If customers don't run them, if customer treats them as critical but don't give them enough resources, it means that they don't treat them as critical. They they need to choose like whether it's critical, really critical, or they need or they just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's the point. Like we cannot. I mean, there is really limited amount of resources on a node, and if you send priority class stealing away resources from something else, and we need to manage this stealing like as Kubernetes, like we need to find out somewhere those resources to run those critical pods, then it breaks the model basically. And I think if customers think that something is critical, they need to treat it as critical.
I agree on the resource limiting, but I think in the consideration for score, I think it's just about the ordering where I think that like resource limits are not considered here if I consider correctly. It's just a usage that's considered. Priority is not considered at all. Are you suggesting it as a whole for priority? It will not make sense if you want to treat that in the future as well. But I think I can take this continue discussion on the SIG node meeting. I see this just back then.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other topics for open discussion? Okay, then. So what's happening right now is release team is trying to do all those 134 releases. We start publishing early alphas. What we get as a result, a lot of pings in Slack. Typically, pings are for leads and pings asking whether some flake is critical or not critical. The only answer I give all the time is like create a bug for this, and we will decide on the bug. I think maybe we need to do better with release team and ask like explicitly, like don't ping us on Slack and create a bug, and we will triage it on our meetings. So I don't know. Is there any opinions? First, is there any opinions? And second, is anybody up to help us with replying on these messages? Maybe we can either create a group on Slack so pings will not be just for leads, or we can have some separate triage, like faster triage for critical, non-critical, like go, non-go kind of triage for flake tests before releases.
I think I can give some time to this effort. I can devote some bandwidth. So yes, I can help.
Yeah, it does. It does seem like we could use a separate triage team of some sort. I mean, I don't think the currently, like, we're not terribly responsive, and I think having a group of more dedicated people who are both maybe more frequently reviewing the test state coming up to a release, and then also responding to these go no go conversations could be good. And more opportunities for leadership in the SIG was good.
Okay, do you agree that the best way to ping us is GitHub, or we want to keep the Slack? Because I don't read Slack too often. I try, like, it has so many notifications that I prefer to just open it once a day or like twice a day.
Yeah, I think it's fine too.
I think, but this is just my understanding, that the people release them ping us on Slack because they expect a faster response time. And but I also see very much Sergey's point. So maybe I don't know. I can watch the Slack channel, but I think this is the requirement pretty much. So I don't have any strong preference, but I see the point for Slack. So I won't mind. I guess I'm trying to say I won't mind the start on Slack.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you. Okay, with 20 minutes in and looking at this chart, we have like 23 items to triage. Some of them irrelevant bugs. I don't share my screen. Let me share my screen. You should see it now. Okay, I would suggest we go through that really quickly. Okay, CPU manager failing test when running non-guaranteed pods. Okay, it's opened long time ago. Should be some context already. Okay, Francesca, you reopened it. Do you remember the context?
Yes, I do, because we had failures, but now it should be fixed.
Okay, 0 failures.
Yeah, it seems fixed. So yeah, now we can close.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Migrate away from N1 machines. I think we discussed it a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Droid suggested that we create some kind of priority list. I think it's outside of Node. Yeah, I even tend to remove SIG Node. I don't know if SIG Node will work on that. Yes. I'll move it into issues to do, but if it would be outside of SIG Node, we can even remove our label and remove from our tracking board. Okay, 163 SIG Node tests. Okay, we have open PR for this. We can triage it right away. Okay, so it needs triage. It needs rebase. Let me ask if they want to continue. And this needs to be done and it's assigned, so I will go make it in progress. And more complex E2E test for deferred resizes. Okay. I see team is already assigned to that. Team,
Yeah, you can just mark this as triaged. I'll take a look
Okay.
at it.
thank you. Okay. Drop username spaces, pod security standards, feature gate. Okay, this is not
Yeah, I think
related. Do you need some review on this, Peter?
I think I do need a review. I think I specifically really need SIGOS to look at this, so we can talk through. I know Tim, you already looked at this, and Tad, Jordan, I'm not sure. I haven't checked if Jordan responded, but I've not updated it since, because it's not totally clear to me what the approach should look like.
600 files.
Yeah, it's all this generated stuff.
This is so cool. Okay, add generation, observe generation test for mirror pods. Okay, this is to-do task and it's assigned to Natasha, so I will just move it into to-do. Oh, no, in progress. So it's assigned. Add signal test and remove. Okay, this is what we just looked at and it's already moved, so it's fine. Move cluster event type to staging repo, leaving some functions that contains logic, scalar, Kubernetes. I don't think it's CI related. Yeah, it's bunch of code, more like code organization. Okay, this is a preliminary. Waiting on author. So since it's a draft, okay, we went ahead. Okay, Linux only, not conformance. Should support sysctl. Is it flaking? Yeah, it's flaking. Okay, it was triaged as not a blocker.
Yeah, we did recently fix the seg fault that a lot of the cryo tests were hitting. So I think it would behoove us just to double check that they haven't popped up again. But honestly, it's 6. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
still
failure.
flaking.
But these tests are slightly different than those suites that it was failing in. Doesn't look like any of the cryo jobs. So I think it's now a slightly different problem.
Yeah. Oh, it's a skip version and compatibility versions.
Yeah, I'm seeing some weirdness with proc. Kevin opened up an issue, and there's generally been some failures with proc mount as well. I'm wondering if some of this compatibility version stuff has fussed with, like the tests that we're running aren't setting the feature gates correctly or something. I mean, I'm like kind of digging into that proc mount one now, but I'm immediately wondering if that has something to do with it. So sysctl shouldn't be blocked by a feature gate. So actually, I don't see why that would happen.
Yeah, this one, cryo one, last flaked on 23rd, 2 days back.
Yeah, we merged it like yesterday, or so it would have been after that. So yeah, yeah, we can keep an eye on this one, just to make sure that it's actually fixed.
I will send to you.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, and since it's assigned, I will move it in focus. Automatic upgrade downgrade testing. Yeah, that's very interesting. I'd like to take a look. Waiting on author here, but yeah, that would be interesting discussion. If anybody interested to take a look, it's a compatibility testing between different versions of kubelet and DRA driver. Should be quite fun. Okay. Prioritize resize request by priority class and QS class. Okay, this is a feature work. I will archive it from here. I think I opened it twice, so same thing. Pre-bind pre-flight and implement in in-tree plugins. Is it scheduler? Yeah, it's scheduling. I don't know why it's touching SIG Node at all. I don't know.
Because of the array problem. I can see some DRA codes in the list of files.
Maybe. But I think it's product change. So I archived from here, but feel free to take a look. Metrics, again, product change. Unit tests, feature, gate. I will move it later, archive it. Consumable capacity. Okay, another test related. End-to-end tests. Yeah, so there's 4 left to triage. Improve unit test for pod observed generation. Okay. Oh, I was assigned at the okay. It's already approved by Jordan, so should be done. We'll move it to the appropriate column. Oh, I think I did. Okay. Update test E2 node events go with call mega eventually. Tim, did you self-assign? Do you want to take a look?
Yeah, I'll take a look at this. This is part of our fix it.
Okay. Failing test.
I'm looking at this one now. You can assign me. Once you guys accepted it, I did reproduce it.
And last one is also you, Peter.
Yeah, this one I could use someone who knows a little bit more about pod lifecycle just to confirm that this makes sense. But basically, like a pod is made to restart thrice, once it's failing, once succeeding, and then sleep forever. And it's deemed as not ready until it gets to the sleeping forever part, and the test currently flakes because we read the not readiness too quickly before the pod actually gets ready, and then we don't confirm other pieces of it. So it seems to me like the update to this test is correct, but I could use someone who knows a little bit more just to confirm that.
Okay, you already assigned to. Okay. I will take a look.
Thank you.
Oh, it needs approval. Okay, and this is SIG testing, I think. We rarely have any concerns with this kind of bumps. Okay, then. Oh, I will archive all this. It's product related. And now, quickly look at the test grid. We already taken time from bug triage. Okay, this is flakes.
Yeah, it's okay. Tests are kind of in a weird state right now.
Flakes. Flakes and eviction still failing. Yeah, nothing new. Eviction again. And eviction.
Yeah, and then there is the save that serial test is the proc mount one.
Okay. I think we're done with this triage. And with that, should we move to bug triage now?
My turn. Okay. I don't know why this is a no status. We talked about this. Yeah, so I think that this one should be triage. There's an associated bug, PR survey that could be looked at. I think it's been reviewed. I'll take a look at that after this. All right. Going through. This has updated after termination caused by pod deletion.
It's very old. Can you scroll down like to see what's happening?
I think it's just the bot deemed it as rotten. And you removed rottenness.
3 weeks ago. I should
Yeah,
have
I
read.
wonder. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me ask.
Yeah, I should have read some comments there, but yeah, maybe we can ask Jordan.
With the check, I think it's kind of, yeah. It's been a while since there's been a functional update, I would say. I'm gonna triage it to need information. To create the pod, the array. Okay, so this is, I wonder if this is more of a, I mean, if we should lump it in with the array as a feature, or if we should consider it to be a bug. Because it seems like
Yeah,
by
but it
being
says it's
referenced,
documentation. It's not a. It's expected
Yeah.
behavior and it should be documentation.
okay. I need to remove time bug too. Pod memory usage, I guess statistics are just wrong. Yes. Well, wrong. All right, so this one is actually not that old. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not so sure wrong is correct. I think we just made a decision on a way that it works, and they don't agree with that decision. Yeah, I would say. Here's what I think. Does anyone disagree with this assessment? Ending it. Okay. Uh, Guide to running node conformance tests is confusing. Okay. Okay, so it's still a problem, I think. We can still consider this to be active. Scheduler being topology unaware can cause runaway pod creation.
This is 4 years old, actually 6 years old. Why is it again?
Because it has been untouched for a year. And it was untouched for years before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we want to do anything about? I mean, I guess is this here this cap a proposal to fix this basically?
Yeah, there should be a cap. Like, I think we need to unbug it.
I agree. But we should triage accept it.
It wouldn't hurt.
I don't think that it's high in our list. Human. Incorrect error reporting in case of missing one. Wait, but we fixed this. This is fixed now. Yeah, we fixed this. Okay. Easy enough. Feed scheduler does not consider host ports used by init containers when scheduling. Okay.
Yeah, there's still a bug. I need to open cherry pick for this. I think I asked Avrit and
Did I triage this done? Oh, it's already accepted. I think it just needs to be.
yeah.
Cool. I think all the other things are set. We're good here. Dead link. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, it looks like it has been accepted by someone. Okay, we got the accepted label already. Great. Lead page enabled to map backing store for guest RAM. Cannot allocate memory. I mean, that failure cannot allocate memory is. Yeah, I think we'd have to figure out exactly what this is saying. Is this like coming from a syscall, or is this? No, it's not. Okay.
Is this new?
Team KVM, like, is this even like this looks like an error in workload. There's like this looks like VM KubeVirt. There's like a failure inside of a KubeVirt pod. Vented flag. Oh. So for some context for anyone, I have been talking to Bing about Evented Plague and need to have a little bit further of a conversation, but there are some measurable improvements in speed and also memory usage that have been identified. So it's possible you still want to push forward with Evented Plague, but we need to sort of continue to talk about that. Let me continue that conversation before we'll make triage this. I think that we can accept this because we haven't officially taken a stance that we are deprecating Evented Plague.
Let's set priority to backlog or something.
Yeah, good idea. Qubit start, duration, seconds, metric, reports double pod count. Interesting. Okay, so we have accepted it. Okay. Yes.
Isn't this kind of expected because it would also run the sandbox, so it would be 2 for every new pod run?
But should the
I'm wondering if this
So,
is a bug or if we need to fix this.
yeah, so you're saying is it counted both on the pod and on the sandbox? Because there should only be one sandbox created, it seems.
Yeah, it reports here that like the count, the pod durations in seconds count shows 2, and then we create another pod, and then it pumps to count 4, and all of the metrics are also accounting the pod sandbox as well.
Do we want that?
I think then it wouldn't be just for this metric, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of seems like maybe they should have separate metrics, or we should only count the sandbox instead of the pod itself. So that we can track the changes as the sandbox gets recreated.
That makes sense to me. I guess probably we should, yeah, maybe we should confirm the behavior, and then that would be a large enough change. Maybe check more metrics, I guess. I can leave a comment over here.
All right, great. Thank you. Do you want me to CC you, or do you got it?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Ooh, nice. All right, we're gonna do it. Pod garbage collector deletes old pod. Okay, wait. So BC deletes an old pod that is terminated. Faceless set roaming upgrade. People does not completely delete the corresponding process field following the pod is started. Okay. Ooh, it's a mouthful. This is looking like a CLI thing right now. Because, I mean, it was force deleted. So, yeah, it's not going to finish the deletion before the next resource is created. Like, it kind of seems like to me, don't do that. So either set the higher threshold in the Kube controller manager, or identify why it's taking so long to pare down the old stateful set. I don't think it's a SIG node. I think probably SIG CLI, if anything, but probably not. Or SIG, no. Workflow? Apps, SIG apps. Okay, DRA resource claim controller fails to clean up deleted resource claims on the startup. I presume that this should be triaged. After let's check something like that. Pod level resources, pod level resource validation fails when the container level is not set for other resource. Is this being looked at, or we're updating validation for this sticky here? But okay, so it is actually accepted already, so we can see that. Great. Great. We have 2 minutes, so I don't think that there's enough time to go through the needs information. So I think
We can do it next time. Okay.
yeah, totally. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye now.